think we're going here. Hopefully, I had to move some equipment. Hopefully, nothing got messed up when I moved everything. But this is going to be a relatively short session today. I feel like I got to squeeze my head in here around all this stuff. When we left yesterday, we had just technically finished all of the assembly. And we're sort of ready to go ahead and plug things in. But I wanted to take a few minutes here because I haven't touched this off stream. Absolutely everything that's been done to this machine has been done on stream. I thought that was really important. So everyone got the entire experience. There's nothing going on behind the scenes. If you get one of these kits, you are going to experience everything in these videos that I experienced assembling this kit. And what we want to do today is I have my laptop over here with... knocking the power supply off. I have my laptop over here with the online assembly instructions pulled up. And this is, I believe, called the Rambo board. And that's what you're looking at here. I have the machine propped up on its side, and we're going to go through and double check all of our electrical connections. Because I am absolutely horrified or mortified that I might plug this in and something catastrophic might happen. So we're just going to take maybe a half hour here and go through and double check every single electric connection into the board to make sure it's correct before we turn this machine on. It might not be super sensitive to problems like that. Like I might turn it on with something wrong and it not blow everything up, but I just want to be super sure that everything is okay. So we're just going to go... I mean, there's really no particular way to go about this, but we're going to go through and make sure everything is correct. We'll start with, I think, the easiest connections, and that's all the motor connections. These multicolored bundles, you can see here that have a red, blue, green, and black wire. These are all our motor connections that actually go out to these stepper motors. And they're fairly easy to deal with because they come with these nifty little collars on that tell us, like, I don't know if you can actually see that on the camera, but this one has an X on it, this one has a Y, these two have Z's, and the last one has an E. And those stand for our X, Y, and Z axis, two motors on the Z axis. And the E motor is the one that mounts on the extruder head and actually pushes the filament into the head. So I'm just going to quickly double check these. This will be pretty straightforward for that part. On our chart here, the top one should be the X-axis motor, which it is, and it's seated properly. Next should be our Y-axis motor, and again, it's seated properly. We have our two Z-axis motors, which our instructions told us earlier it does not matter which order they go in, they just both need plugged in these two sockets that are side by side, and they are seated properly. And last but not least, on the bottom is our extruder motor. So they are all correct. I think there's a really good chance we did install these correctly the first time, but it does not hurt to double check things like this. So our next connections, we'll do these black and white wire pairs here on the top. So you can see this is a bit of a mess. I'll try to get some of these wires out of the way. Because a wire like this, I really would like to trim that because that only needs to come in here about 2 inches, and we have about, I would say, 18 inches of wire here. And I'll go ahead and pull this out. I don't know if that would be difficult. Probably not. I guess we'll just leave it. Maybe I can zip tie this if I put a nice little loop on this guy. Because this board does heat up from what I understand. So we do want decent airflow in here. And it's just like, I've built a lot of computers over the years. And how you manage the cables inside can have a dramatic impact on how air actually flows through some of these areas and keeps things cool. So we'll do something about like this. I'm unfortunately going to have to let go of it And we'll grab some of this mountain of zip ties that we had left over and our cutters. So we have them ready. And I'll go ahead and take one of these short zip ties, lay it right here, and get this bundled back up. Just to kind of keep this clean in here. Now this is not how I generally do things, but this will do for now. I'm just getting to the point where I'm getting really anxious to fire this up and do some tests and make sure the assembly all went okay. But that'll help keep this a little bit cleaner in here. I'm not going to make that super tight. I don't want to pinch these wires or cause any problems, but we'll zip tie that and trim our tie. And I guess we can go ahead and double check these connections. This is a black and red wire with a yellow and green marker on it. And it looks like this goes in the plug. It was in the correct plug. And it looks like our black wire gets oriented like that to the board, with our black wire facing the face of the machine. And again, I don't know if the polarity on any of these matters. Hey, Joseph. Is there a better way? Am I doing something stupid here, Joseph? Like I said, I might come back on my own time and kind of address some of these wires. But I'm kind of to the point now where I just want to get this tended to so I can get this freaking machine running. And we have a double white wire coming in here, which is to our heat bed thermistor, which appears, oh, that wasn't pushed the whole way down. But that is in the correct socket. And then we have a black and red wire, which again must not have been pushed down in the socket hard enough. And it does appear to be in the correct location. Oh, I clicked that time. That is a good idea. Anyone that can't see chat, my buddy Joseph here suggested actually running the S. We'll go ahead and do that so I can demonstrate what he's saying, because I think that is a better idea than what I'm doing. And again, I'll be careful that I'm not cutting a wire here. So we'll clip that off. And that's why I didn't want to zip tie these to the box right away. Is we'll undo our cable cover here a little bit. And we'll take this wire and leave the appropriate length out. And then we can do kind of a broader overlap here and leave this bundle up in the wire cover, which, like I said, is a much better idea, I think, than what I was doing. How do I want to do that here? Okay. Okay, so that should lay okay like that. And I don't think there's a terrible amount of excess on any of these other wires. Looks like a little bit I can take out of this one. I assume, is that what you were talking about? Yeah. Because we do, I do have all the wires that are coming in here, unless I'm mistaken. There's my friend here that does a podcast with me. Yeah, you can come over if you want. Like I said, I'm gonna take like a half hour maybe and do this. And then we can take a break. We have to film some other stuff. And then I'll just pick back up streaming and stream again until I have to go pick my daughter up. But unless I'm mistaken, that should be all the wires that we need to clean up some excess. It looks acceptable. I actually won't zip tie these either. I'll just wrap them up in the cable wrap. Kind of bunch them up tight. Because the cable wrap will be a little thicker in this area, but that's pretty trivial, I think. It'll probably make me lose some sleep. But I'll come back at a later date and probably actually cut the excess line out of that and address it. Yeah, see, that's not the prettiest work I've ever done. But we'll leave it for now. I probably didn't pick the best place to double that up. But whatever, we're gonna get a functioning machine here. Okay, that's quite a bit cleaner in here. And Joseph said that I'm gonna need the space inside the box for other wires later. Was there some other wires that were going in here? Because as far as I understand, we have everything routed into the box. We have our black and red with a green and yellow collar. That's in. We have a black and red with a red collar. Again, with the polarity oriented the same way in the picture. I don't know if that matters, but we'll go ahead and follow it. We have the print cooling fan coming in. That's in the correct space. We have... Where's that at here? On the bottom, we have our blue wires going into the nozzle hot end. They are in the proper location. We have the... I don't know what they're labeled as. The heat bed output, which is correct. The heat bed thermistor is correct. We have the Pinda probe, which is on the plug on the outside. That is correct. And we have the Y and X end stops. I'll double check this. This should be the X. Which is correct. Correct. Okay, I think we have everything. And then our LCD cables. We have cable 1 on the outside and cable 2 on the inside, and it looks like they are seated correctly on the pins. So did I already run power to it? Do you mean the 110 cable? I did not, but otherwise all of the wires are in here. We have our 2 power leads from the power supply that are in here. So this is all the wires that are coming in the box. And yeah, the only thing I have a little bit of excess cable for still are these ribbon cables. But they're not the worst. Let me see, I might need to flip. Yeah, it looks like I need to twist this one. I managed to get a twist in it somehow. So we'll reseat that. I don't know how much you can see. My big old hand's in the way. And there we have it. I think we're ready to fire this up. Which is funny, I thought this was going to take a half hour. But these ribbon cables I think I'll just let flop for now. I guess I can fold them a little bit in here. And we're going to put our case lid back on. But I don't think that looks terrible. I think there's going to be a little bit of airflow. I don't know if I might attach a fan later on this unit, but could maybe put one on the bottom that would blow up through and out the grill on this piece. The other side has a nice grill on it to let some air flow. don't know if I scratched that or if that was scratched before. But it's relatively simple to reattach this panel. You're just going to want to nest it in the bottom hinge. Have the top hinge in place already. I believe that's how it's going to go. Yeah, like that. We'll slide it over the bottom hinge, and then we're going to have to actually put the bolt in for the top hinge while it's all together. Oh, I'm so nervous. I'm really nervous. But it's time. We have to do it. We have to turn it on. It's the whole point of the machine. Just going to ease the wires down with a little bit of pressure. Got our big... I did pick like a terrible place to double that wire up. I should have brought it up a little farther. Since this is taking a lot less time than I expected it to, I'll go ahead and address this. We'll bring this up a little bit farther. Which isn't that big of a deal. Just so it's not at the place where it's entering the box. I guess I should do it so I only have it doubled over once. That would probably be the smartest. That way I'm not making my cable bundle too thick here. And then same with this one. We'll just get that doubled over area up away from the box entrance. Okay. That should be a lot better going in there. I'll have to back this up a good bit more. I don't know. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing if anybody can't see. Got the camera kind of zoomed in. But we're just winding this snake back off so I can hit my mouse button and destroy the stream. I have to go a little bit farther. That goes a good ways up there. Okay. And now we'll just put our cable wrap back on over all of this mess and hide our shame. I don't know why they gave us so much lead. All the rest of them are within a few inches of what they should be lengthwise. And that other cable is extremely long. 18 inches or so is quite a bit of excess to have in a cable. Okay, so we'll wrap this back up. And then I guess we're going to plug it in. Lay it all up the spiral. Don't fold it over itself. You mean like I did, or... Because I can't just make it disappear in the spiral. I am going to have to double it over at some point. But at least it's only doubled over itself once now instead of 2 or 3 times. Yeah, that's quite a bit. That bundle's quite a bit narrower than it was. You can't really tell anything crazy's going on there. Okay, that's much better. And we don't have anything weird going on here. I'll make sure our nylon piece didn't pull out. I would imagine I pulled that out a little. And there we go. Looks like our cable snake worked up a little bit. We'll work it back towards the box. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. That's fairly clean in the box, except like you had mentioned, the ribbon cable has a bit of excess length here, but that's not too bad. Except that it's blocking the air vents. I think I'll just leave it out right now because that cable more than anything is going to be blocking airflow. So I think we're ready to seal it up. Move these out of the way and set our machine back up. I have the stinking Z-axis the whole way to the top. Okay, so now we're just going to put... We're going to make some obnoxious noises by throwing wood blocks around. And we'll go ahead and put our big 30 or 40 millimeter screw, I forget, back in here and close this box up. And you'll never know there's any kind of ugliness in there. Okay, I'm gonna move this light back a little bit. There we go. That was excessively bright on my big dome head. And we'll kill this camera. And I think we're ready for power. Is it very low? I think part of that's that they're farther away than I was yesterday. And I'll up the volume just a hair. Is that better? Can you hear me better? Hopefully that's better. Oh man, I'm terrified. Okay, there was one... I was double checking things. It was actually when I was showing it to my my friend, I was pointing out the micro switches. This one worked okay, but it was actually hitting the frame before it was hitting the micro switch. And what it was is one of my zip ties in the back, one of the zip ties on this cable bundle was actually sticking the wrong way, and it was hitting the frame before it could actually hit the micro switch. So I addressed that issue then, and then on the bed, I did identify a problem we need to address right now. I'll just ease that head down. Sounds okay? Okay, good. Hell, I guess I will turn this camera back on. Kind of handy right now. This is a really simple, it's a very straightforward problem here. When this carriage moves all the way to the back, there is a micro switch back here that it uses to home. And I don't know if you can see this. This is kind of probably going to be difficult to see, but I'll show you just because this is probably going to be an issue that some people run into. Where am I at here? Okay. Right in this region. If you can see, we have a little bit of excess. Get something to point that with. We have a little bit of excess for that belt. And here it is, right here. It's this piece right there that's coming out of that tensioning block. And what it's actually doing, if you can see, is when we get back to the end of that, that belt is pulling into the pulley about 1/4 of an inch before it can actually hit the micro switch. And it'll still go back. You see it actually moves back. If I push that, it'll push itself back because that belt's trying to force itself into the pulley. So that's a really easy fix, luckily. I don't know if I can get it with these scissors, but we're just going to trim that because we actually have plenty of excess on the other side as well. I could pull that out of the block and shift it so that I have very little sticking out this side and put all the excess out the other side. But what I'm going to do is actually just cut that. I don't really think that'll be something I regret. Could be wrong, but we'll find out together. So I'm just going to trim this relatively close. And these belts are kind of tough. But you can see I took, I don't know, approximately ½ inch, maybe 5/8 of an inch off of that belt. And now when we look at it, you can see it activates the, it's able to hit the micro switch, and we still have a solid 1/4 inch before that excess gets up into the pulley. So I think we solved that problem. And you can see I actually have a little bit of fraying on the belt there. But I think that's from the factory. That's not anything we did. But we can go ahead and trim that. Let me get a slightly sharper blade, and I'll turn that towards me. But you see what I'm saying. We have a little bit of the fiber. These belts have fibers in them lengthwise to give them strength. We'll just very carefully trim that, or maybe we won't. I mean, I don't foresee that being an issue, but we'll go ahead and trim it so it doesn't lead to any problems. If I can get a hold of it. Okay, there we go. Good to go. So unless I'm overlooking something, I think we're ready for power. We're ready to smash our ribbon cables. Oh, there is one last thing. One final step. I have a glass sheet here somewhere. Which I, for some reason, cannot locate. I had it yesterday. Okay, so maybe we'll skip that step. I don't know what I did with it. Interesting. Yeah. I don't know how I'm... Oh, I see it. I see it. I was going to say, I don't know how somebody would misplace a sheet of glass like this, but one side is textured and the other side is smooth. And we'll actually use this to make sure that we didn't... that this still sits pretty flat. And it doesn't look like we shifted anything. Because you see, we have picked this up and put it down quite a few times. Had it at some weird angles. And I'll just work this Z-axis down so I can actually grab a hold of this without worrying about anything. Okay. Try to calm the anxiety. And I think we'll power this up. And I assume at this point, I'll double check the directions because that was the end of part 8 of the assembly guide. And I think we're finally done with that camera. And it's all you, baby. All you. I've done my part. Okay, step 22, hooray! And part 9, the pre-flight check. And it appears this is actually a video. Don't say that. Yeah, Francis, I'll do that in the future. Like, it's one of those things in hindsight, it's pretty obvious. But at the time, I just tried to center everything. So there's still probably a 1/4 inch on the side that I trimmed and 5/8 of an inch on the other side. So I think we still have plenty of adjustment left in that belt. I mean, is there any obvious things I should do before I plug this in? I kind of just want to plug it in. Though I'm using 50 power plugs at the moment, so might actually take me a minute to find one. We got our plug here. And I do see now that I saw some people complaining that this kind of just juts out the side. Because otherwise, if it would come out the back or have a plug with a right angle on it, it would be a relatively narrow unit for the most part. Because this does kind of mess up the feng shui. Oh, I'm so nervous. It's all fun and games when everything's not connected to mains power. Having something assembled the wrong way isn't going to cause anything to break. Having something wired improperly is going to cause some damage, I think. Does anyone in chat have any objections at this point to me plugging this in? I know it's hard to see things given the camera situation, but I wouldn't be surprised if I'm just like overlooking something stupid and am about to do something stupid. So here it is. Let me find an outlet. Okay, I got one here that I can drag across, I think. Like I said, I have power cables everywhere. This is not ideal. Well, here we go. Let's consult. See, I'm gonna put this off a second. Let me find my guide. Because they didn't include actual hard copies for the instructions. Don't drum roll yet. Save that drum roll. Because I don't want to... Okay, this is for the assembled one. For the kit. We do want to clean our print bed with isopropyl alcohol. I can do that quick. Probably shouldn't use paper towels because they have a million little fuzzy things that come off every time you touch them, but I am absolutely stalling because I'm terrified. Let's do this. This is a legitimate stall, though, because this does need clean. My fingerprints are all over that thing. Okay, so we're just going to wipe, I guess primarily the center is what matters, but we'll get all of it. Get it nice and clean. Complete. Step complete. Okay, I don't think I can stall anymore. I'm terrified. Here we go. I feel like anybody's seen the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation movies? It feels like that scene where I need to like we are connected to mains power. I don't hear any popping or smoking or anything, so that's a good sign. Let me move this table back. Should I have the SD card in, or does it just do a self-test on its own? Plug in, okay. It says attach the filament things. I guess I should do that. Because while I am going to come up with my own solution in the future, I will use these initially. Just so when I do a review, I can review the product as intended. And then we have our filament. I guess it's finally time to bust this thing open. Find the end of the roll without touching this a million times. Okay, so that is the end. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw a thing. Is that the approximate width? Yeah. Alright, then we'll flavor to taste here. I do not like this filament solution. I know that. This is not ideal. Okay, that seems secure enough. Oh, the calibration takes 10 minutes. So I just power it on. Okay. Alright, let's go to where I can see the control panel. I would assume I just select, I'm an English speaker. Printer has not yet been calibrated. Follow the manual. Okay. So how do we do the calibration? Oh my goodness. Nothing's flaming. That's good. Self-test, kit only. This says that we should be able to initiate it. Should be able to initiate it from here. Calibration. Self-test, I assume. It's doing stuff. Is that normal? Unless my friend just came in.
King Kong in hell.
I don't know what's happening, but stuff's happening. Oh, does it matter? I don't think I ever adjusted the sensor. I don't think I ever adjusted the magnetic sensor. Second cam, what do you want to see? Do you want to see the LCD? I can do that.
You act like we're just friends.
I guess that would make some sense. Okay. Is that legible? I'm scared. I'm like legit scared right now.
Do you have a boner? You're a boner?
Look, we're keeping this family friendly.
Okay, my bad.
But yes, a little bit. Feels like we got some heat there. So was the self test complete? Well, I actually did orient the sensor like they recommended. I don't know if I can get a side view here. Because I kind of know the view you're asking for. I kind of need to cut this off. But if you can see, it's approximately level with the hot end. I'll double check here. I don't know why it's so hard to orient something that's not oriented to your body. Pin to sensor. Okay. It looks like the hot end sticks down a millimeter or two lower than the pin to sensor. Okay, right here it is. First, calibrate the distance between the tip of the nozzle and the pin to sensor. The process is fairly straightforward. That's fantastic. I guess, is that from the menu? The clear top align the top of the sensor. Sorry, I probably should have read this beforehand, but... Yeah, that's basically exactly what I'm at right now, Francis. Is my hot end sticks down a millimeter or two. Yeah, it's like maybe a millimeter and a half to 2 millimeters. Exactly. During the assembly process, I aligned it. Francis, a guy named Francis is helping me in the chat here. He's saying that the Pinda top should be aligned to the plastic holder, and I'm like dead on that. So apparently that's damn near where it should be.
So what's the problem then?
Nothing. It's just we're just going through the calibration stuff, and I just want to, because you can put the hot end into the bed, and it won't destroy anything, but it'll not ruin, but it'll scratch your coating.
So everything so far after your self-test looks good. You're just checking it over.
Oh, I guess, yeah, I guess are you getting me to reference the I get what's going on here. Part 5, step 22. I think the mouse wheel on this mouse isn't loud.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Yeah, that's exactly what I was that's what yeah. I did it exactly like they did in that picture. Cuz I have part 5 step 22 pulled up like someone is suggesting. And in the third picture, they make it really clear where like the base orientation of the pin to sensor should be. Okay. So I guess now we do the XYZ calibration. This does have a really nice like tactile feel to it. It's got like a little beep. Calibrate XYZ. The Z carriage up to the end. Ooh. I'm manually controlling that.
Have you been on a coffee kick here lately?
I've just been tired, so I did it. And I guess we go clear to the top. I guess we're up. It looks like they're not both bottomed out completely. Well, yeah, I guess they are. Okay, so we click. Please clean the nozzle for calibration. It's clean. I guess they're all the way up. They appear to be. I don't know what they're supposed to be up against. I don't know what they're supposed to bottom out to. What should I do if they're not? I guess I'll say no. I guess it'll take me back. I guess that's correct. We'll go with yes. I can hear the bearings making noise. Wow, those bearings make a lot of noise. I can see why people replace them. Yeah. That's loud. There, I'll try to talk a little bit louder. That's pretty noisy. That's me holding the back end up a little bit. This table is amplifying it quite a bit.
Yeah, you could hear it upstairs in the living room. I imagine if you had the TV on or something, you probably couldn't hear it, but you can...
This is me holding it up off the table a little bit. Because this table is acting like a giant resonator. Yeah, we'll address that issue then.
I heard like a little bit of a buzz, I guess, in the living room.
Well, I can grease them a little bit. Yeah. It'll help a little bit.
I mean, imagine that like that might be an issue with your wife or something.
Yeah, luckily it's gonna be sitting over there. This might help a little bit for the time I need. I'll get it, because I can just lift it by the... That's like 6% quieter. It appears to be working. I mean, I guess that's a success.
You don't sound very happy about it.
Yeah, Joseph, if you don't mind, can you go ahead and shoot me that link too? I'll check it out as well. Because that is, it's not a deal breaker or anything, and I do kind of hate to disassemble everything to install them, but... Let me point this mic away from them so you're just hearing me. But yeah, if you don't mind, go ahead and shoot me that link as well. I see it goes over each of the magnetic sensors like 5,000 times. I'm just so glad everything appears to be working. Yeah, I did see those off of Thingiverse. They were one of the first. I actually have it bookmarked, I think. I'll probably put that in the thread too. Because they were two, if they're the same things I had seen, they're just little feet that actually like curl up around, and then the weight rests on them and it kind of cushions it. So it doesn't transmit as much of the vibration through. But yeah, that's putting out some noise. Like, I knew they were kind of noisy.
Well, I just imagine that you'll be running it as often as possible.
24/7? Yeah.
So...
But now...
You think that's just from the bearings?
It is. It's exactly what it is, yeah. Because the bearings have those tiny little balls in them, and they're not super tight, so they just vibrate. They just vibrate. You could hear that even when it was just first assembled. Like, that's bearings too. A little bit of it's the stepper motors, but that's primarily bearing noise. Silicone gel, that probably does help a lot. Yeah, those feet do elevate it off the table, and it looks like the machine would be kind of floaty when it's sitting on those, so I don't know how much I'm going to love that. Let me, I'm going to mute that other mic so it's not as amplified coming through both mics. What time is it?
2:40.
Okay. Were you pressed for time? So I'll at least finish these calibration processes and try to do... We'll load the filament and then try to do one of the smaller test prints just to make sure everything works. But luckily this is... I'm going to move this TV and the printer will sit in the corner there. So it's as far away from the living space in our house as it can be. Because our bedrooms are actually on the other end of the house. Because if it just makes noise and we have to deal with it upstairs...
It's not like real loud,
I need to finish insulating the ceiling in the basement. That would make a huge difference.
It's not real loud, but you can kind of hear it. But there was a truck came in up the road by the driveway.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell the difference between that or if it was,
But this, like, some shapes make more noise than others. Because, like, this is just the x-axis moving. And, like, when you do circles, it's all the axes moving at the same time. So it gets even louder. Because you can see when it moves the print bed, it gets loud, too. So with all them going at the same time, it's probably quite the little noise machine. Man, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. My cousin, it's why I got a late start today. I had planned on starting again at 9 o'clock in the morning, and now it's like, I think it was like 1:30 when I started. My cousin stopped over, and we ended up talking for several hours, so. Yeah, let me move that farther from this mic, too.
Did you borrow your camera again?
No, I actually had her come over and shoot some pictures of me, like, soldering and stuff. I need them as, like, I need that B-roll. Here we go. I'll try to keep it as far from the mic as I can. Always do the Batman print. What's that? I haven't looked at what's on the SD card at all. Because they sent an 8 gig SD card that has test prints. Is it like a Batarang? I'll print a fucking Batarang. But no, has anyone seen... Because if you're searching Prusa i3 on YouTube, has anybody seen the guy that's just doing... let me turn that off. There's a guy that's just doing like 12-hour streams of his printer printing without sound. Not that you need sound for it, but I thought that was odd. Because the assembly and stuff's already kind of boring.
That's like some weird fetish.
Ultimately, yeah, who's gonna sit and watch a 3D printer print for like 12 hours? That's odd. That's such an odd thing to stream.
It's the same thing. Did you ever see those count streams?
Yeah.
Where they were like tracking subscriber counts for like Keemstar and stuff.
Yeah. Because some of those, like a stream like that, 8 seconds of it and you've got the idea.
Yeah, right.
It's like my friend just mentioned some of the people that stream those subscriber counts, like when Keemstar was losing a bunch of subscribers. 8 seconds of that and you get the idea. Yeah, he's bleeding streamers. I get it. Okay, on to the next thing. And it's the same with this. You get a couple layers and... Pretty much. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. So he can see it himself. But I guess in that way it does make sense, because you could do it private, but if people are going to stop in and you can generate some ad revenue off of it, why not, I guess? Man, you're not kidding, that takes a while. Because I've thought about doing that myself, because you can use YouTube as kind of like a closed circuit security system, sort of. Just have a webcam set up and you're streaming so you can pop in and check it yourself. That...
It's almost like music. It's like some weird dubstep.
Well, there are guys, you can actually, for the calibration on this, or the startup, you can actually program sounds. Like, has anyone ever seen when people take old 3 1/4 floppy drives and make music out of them? It's exactly that kind of thing. You're just making it resonate at different frequencies. That's nerdy. It's stuff that interests me, but I'm shamelessly nerdy, so. Oh, let's see what we got here. Wow, that's noisy. That one's real bad. The bed moving is really noisy. Yeah, it seems to be centered perfectly inside the hatched circles. That last one isn't. The last point is not.
XYZ calibration compromised. Left front calibration point not reachable.
Yeah, it seems like it failed the calibration. Uh-oh. Okay, it does give us that. Okay, it tells us even if the printer moves the print bed to the end Y end stop, the pin to probe cannot reach the left front bed calibration point. Move the left Y threaded rod in the Z frame away from you. How can I move it away from me? I guess, do they mean the actual frame bed? Uh, it says left front calibration point not accessible. It's error code 6 in the manual here. It says you can find how to fix this in the next chapter 6.3.5.1. Okay, so we're on this page. Okay, I think I understand what it says. Yeah. So I guess what it's going to want me to do is I'm going to loosen, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm going to loosen this front nut and I'm going to actually want to move this front corner closer to me. Is that what it's saying? Because I want to move the rod away from me. This is exactly the stuff. This is the stuff I was expecting. Uh, every problem I assumed we'd have was going to be with the threaded rods on the bed. So I guess I'll try to address this quick. If I can find my wrenches. Let me reread. I know this is boring. Let me reread this. Nothing like watching some dude read something on stream. Okay, so it says we can first try to adjust the belt holder for the Y-axis. I assume if I turn this off, it won't hurt anything. I guess I'll leave it on. I don't know how to lay it on its side. I can see that we were a little ambitious with the filament. That was a little too forward thinking. I'm trying to think if I can get that an easy way. I guess I can go ahead and get our other mic on here. So we'll take it off, unplug the mains, lay it on its side. Even with just subtle movement like that, you can hear the bearings making noise. And we'll try first adjusting the belt. Because apparently we have a little bit of play in this belt tensioner. That's not moving at all. No, that's not going to give at all. So we'll, I guess, go ahead and adjust the M10s. See, people were telling me that this was going to compensate for all kinds of stuff. You don't got to worry about it at all. And look at us now. Yeah, sorry, this might take a little bit more time than I anticipated. Okay. So looking down, I had seen this before. It looked like I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But I guess we'll loosen these. And I'll loosen this front one. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to loosen this front one. And I'm going to want to tighten the back one. So I'm actually moving this axis out further. Is that what it's... I think that's what I'm being asked to do. Okay, so that went out probably 1 millimeter or 2. So I assume we'll just repeat the process. At least I don't think we're doing any harm by repeating this process over and over until we get it right. So we'll plug it in. We're powered on. Now here's a question I don't know the answer to. Should we redo all of the calibration, or should we just go to the XYZ calibration and start from there? Does anyone know about that? Should we redo all of the calibrating, or just... the problem, it was saying that the front left calibration spot was not accessible. Vertical skew, you think? So do you think it was our Z-axis not being bottomed out? Because like I said, I did push that till it was like it told me to. I was hearing the stepper motor skip steps. But at the same time, at the same time, I couldn't really see what it was bottoming out on exactly. So I should just go to the do the XYZ calibration. I can do that. Okay, I see now what it's bottoming out on. It's actually hitting the screws up there first. And it appears that it's hitting all of them, so it is bottomed out. Yeah, I mean, that's bottomed out. No, it didn't. That's what we fixed earlier. It does not interfere with the limit switch anymore. We had a solid 1/4 inch to 3/8 of clearance between the little tab of the excess belt and the limit switch itself. So I don't think it's that. So our axis is bottomed out here. Do you think it could be... Do you think it could potentially be that my PINDA sensor needs to be closer to the bed? Because I could adjust that. Because like I say, it's... I think I could get it a little bit closer to the hot end. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll put the PINDA sensor out just a tiny little bit. Which I don't think these wrenches were actually that size. Oh yeah, it is. No, it's not. Let me... Luckily I got this little guy. I'm going to turn this so I can see it better. I guess I shouldn't have moved that, but whatever. I guess I need to get out of that mindset. The whatever.
Maybe with this thing, yeah.
Whatever.
This is behind the scenes. I'm taking a little behind the scenes video for you.
Are you?
Yeah. It's the making of the making of.
Watching me struggle.
Yeah.
The struggle is real.
Well, B-roll, right?
We got that B-roll.
You can see the setup. What goes into making a YouTube video? A lot, actually.
That's pretty close. The PINDA sensor is pretty close now.
I'm trying to see what angle I can get your head the shiniest at.
Isn't it ridiculous? I don't know why it, like, when you're on camera, like, my head's so damn shiny. It is absolutely absurd.
You just need to wear your straw hat.
Is it shiny? You need to stop it. My friend's over here off camera filming me with his phone. Maybe I went a little too far there. Maybe I got a little too ambitious.
I'm not serious though. I mean, at least it's pretty cool to have those resources.
What's that?
Like troubleshooting resources available to you like that, or people helping you on the stream and stuff like that.
Yeah, because a couple of the guys here, I think 4 of the guys here were basically here every day for the most part. So I do appreciate you guys helping. That is like... Oh, say, okay, so I think our pin to sensor is a little bit lower, so we'll go ahead and... Our Z-axis is bottomed out. Hopefully, I don't know if it mattered that I moved that center carriage. Maybe it will. But I guess it does have a stop. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't appear like the printer's all that... Like, the pin to sensor isn't very close to the bed. I don't know if that matters. Like, I can hear it is hitting the Y-axis end stop when it brings the bed back on those final passes. But no, it definitely gives me like a certain kind of peace of mind that someone else that's kind of been through this is here. Because that is incredibly helpful. I mean, I think it is all... Ultimately, it's all well documented, but... It just sucks this test takes so long. Because I don't know, maybe I did move the pin to sensor down a little too far. I guess this is it's becoming more and more obvious what your $200 difference for the assembled kit is buying you. Because having that stuff all set up would be pretty handy right now. I don't know what to do with myself right now. I'm just like, I feel like a child sitting here. You should go make me a sandwich. Yeah, the shipping, that's a long way to ship something fragile. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. Yeah, that's true. I haven't really done that yet. Do you know where they have is the slicer software on the SD card, or is that on the site somewhere? grab a beer. I wish. It's midday here, and I have to pick my daughter up in like an hour and a half. Uh-oh, it stopped. Do we have a message? See, I don't know why that point wouldn't be accessible. It's obviously right on top of it right now. But then again, is it taking so long because it's searching? Meaning that it can't find it? Website only. Here's the driver's firmware manuals. There's all the settings, drivers. Did you have any problems with yours at all, Francis, or did it just kind of work the first time? Do you know where specifically the software is? Like, I found the drivers and everything. Is that what they're considering the drivers? What did you end up doing to fix it? Was it just like you had to keep fiddling with the nuts? Okay, I'm not going to put this on this. This ultimately will be run off the PC that I'm streaming from, but right now I'll install it on my laptop. Since that won't interfere with the streaming computer at all. Oh no, no. I accidentally hit my scroll wheel and put it in the Czech language, whatever that was. Let's try that again. Okay, I see. It does have all the software here. Okay, so it's installing. Okay. I might need to check that. Hopefully it just kind of magically works this time. But if not, if it fails again, I think I'm going to take a break. I need to get some food, and my friend and I need to need to film another project for the week here, which won't take a long time, but we do kind of need to get that taken care of. Yeah, I tried to not go gorilla turn the nuts. Because I think, I don't know if all the rods are the same, but that kind of powder coating on them, I think does help them keep from loosening up like a normal like machined rod might, because it's smooth. That seems to like help the threads bite a little bit more. Oh, there would definitely be a part 6. Maybe a 7. Because I want to do... I'm not going to stream a bunch of printing like an idiot, but I want to stream a couple of the test prints and stuff. Just to share, like, my first experiences and reactions and stuff. Because just like this, surely, like, some of the stuff from earlier with me being, like, ridiculously nervous and stalling and stuff has to be amusing to someone. Maybe not, I don't know. There is just, like, vibration all over the place. Oh, shit. I think we got the first one, or maybe it already did this the first time, too. It's doing stuff. I guess we're gonna find out in a second here. Well, some of it's hard to tell. These mics do pick up sound. Shit. Hey. XYZ calibration is alright. It says the axes are slightly skewed, but software can handle that. Okay. Let me turn our mic back on here. Okay. I can't believe that fixed it. I did something correct on the first try. Well, second try. The first try was the assembly.
Yeah, technically.
But we actually correctly identified the problem. Fantastic. Alright, that's a nice little pick-me-up. So we'll do... What is next? I guess we just go down the list. I would assume next was the Z-axis calibration. Yeah, round of applause for... Not me necessarily, but the machine did what it was supposed to do. I guess being that they're just slightly skewed, like, when I get some time in the future, I can come back and address that. If it's going to compensate as is, we'll just kind of move along. So we'll go to the next calibration here. And this will be the last one. We'll try the Z-axis, and then we'll take a break for a little while. Rotate the knob again. Here's a little tip here. Don't go crazy with the knob because it counts all the clicks. Like before, I had been doing a bunch. And it actually, like... It does count all of them, so... Okay, so we're up. Clean the nozzle, okay. Yes, they are. It's asking if the Z carriages are all the way up. They are. So now it's going to do its thing. Sweet. I think I did. I think I did move the pin to sensor down a little too much. I think I overcompensated. Because it looks like it's damn near level with the extruder tip. Did it do something? Are we done? I guess that's finished. It didn't give us a pass or fail. I assume that's a pass. I guess we'll do one more. That was quick. I guess we'll try the mesh bed leveling. We'll see what that does. I feel like an idiot down here looking like this. It's definitely quieter when it moves fast. Like, those movements were all significantly quieter than the other ones were. I'm not sure. Is it supposed to give us a pass or fail, or does it just do the mesh leveling and then go back to the main screen? See, now it's saying that now it's saying that it hasn't been calibrated. Is that a problem? I hit the X button and it took us out. What's the V2? Do I need to put the SD in there? I'll do it. How do I do it? What is V2 calibration? See, you guys know things that I don't know. Do I have to load? I have to load the filament first. Can I put that on while it's powered on? I'm doing it. And I assume I need the filament for this. Or do I have to power it on and power it off? The SD is in, we're powering up. It's saying again that so I go to print from SD. Okay, so I have the SD in, I went to the SD menu, and I have the V2 calibration here. Do I need to load the filament first? The audience size. I know, bear with me, guys. I'm a pretty bright guy, but this is all new to me. Oh no. Alrighty then. Alright, well I'm gonna do the XYZ. I guess I'll go grab a sandwich while that's going on. Would you like a sandwich too?
No, I'm good.
Oh, that's like I said. I just did like 1,000,000 clicks on that. Awesome. Pro tip. Follow your own tip.
Yeah.
Please clean the nozzle. For the love of God, fellas. I'm sorry, Francis. I'm sorry. I'm only human. Well, we're started. So I'm going to let this run for a minute, and I need to go grab a snack. So I'll let you guys hear to listen to this lovely sound for the next 10 minutes. And I'll even let you look at this. It's not as entertaining as looking at my beautiful face, but I think you guys can make do. Our drivers were successfully installed, if that makes anybody feel better. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm gonna let this do its thing again, and I'm gonna shovel some food into my face real quick. Let me at least mute this second mic. Yep, it's under the bench.
I want to use it. My bad. I just forgot you were still streaming. Open all that other stream.
That was fun. People are aware you're here. It does have kind of like a musical quality to it. Calibration all right, all right. And now my hands are all greasy from chips. Not the best for the skin, but this will definitely get the stuff off of it. Okay, so we did. I did read your message here, Francis. We did the calibration. Now I'm going to select preheat. That's what I was just reading in the manual. I can't see it. And I assume we're going to get PLA. So we're preheating for PLA. I'm going to get the filament on the top of the machine here. I do not like this filament holder. Yeah, I do not like that filament solution. You can definitely smell that it's heating up. Okay, I think we're... What does that say? We're almost heated up. And now I assume I'm going to select the load filament from the menu. And it showed in the manual that I cut the filament at a bit of an angle. Okay, so we're preheated. Now we're preheated. Okay. Okay, the front view. So we kind of want an angle. We're selecting load filament. We're going in. Ayo! We got filament coming out. All right, we've got plastic. That's my first print. Guys, we did our first print. It's an artistic piece. It's an abstract. It seemed to pull it in okay, so I think we're good. So I assume now I'm going to want to do the V2 test print, right? We'll double check that our bed's clean. cheesing off camera here. We're gonna double check our bed for being print, or bed for being clean. I would assume that's adequate. I don't know what area it's gonna print on. So our bed is clean, free of fingerprints. Oh man! Oh shit! Here we go. Watch my pinda be too low and it's just going to drag the print off. No, we got schmutz. Oh no, I see. We have filament hanging out at the tip. I thought when I grabbed that off it got it all out. Hopefully the purge will get it here. Oh, it did. It barely got it off.
Well, that's not loud at all.
That is not even in the right universe, let alone ballpark. Yeah, that is like 3/8 of an inch off of the print bed.
What the?
Yeah, the extruder tip is like way off the print bed. I don't know if that's adjust the live Z. Live Z. I think I missed it. I guess I just repeat that. Why, like Joseph, I am reading the chat, but there's a, I wouldn't say significant delay, but there is a significant delay. I don't know what the total like travel time. So there's our technically our first print. So we'll clean the bed again. Okay, just to clarify, I'm going to go, while it's printing, go to the menu, select the Live Z Adjust. It's saying that if I have to go more than -1 millimeter, that I might need to adjust the probe. Should I probably go ahead and do that right now? Because I think I did put the probe too low. And I do have tweezers. Doesn't seem like I can pull that out. There, I moved this mic over so you can hear me while I'm over here. I think I get what's going on now. So, if I can't get enough adjustment out of this with the Live Z, I'm going to have to turn it off, adjust the probe, do the XYZ calibration again, and then do this print again while I do that. So at least I understand what's going on here now. Yeah, I'm going to have to adjust the probe. There's it, is it -1? Okay, so I still have more room. I'm just going to go ahead and do that again immediately. It looks like our print head is clean. I'll drag this off, clean the bed here quick. Yeah, I think, like, we're getting closer. I think I was getting near the bed. So we'll try it again. I think if it does have enough adjustment, we're going to be right at a full, what do you want to say, a negative millimeter. PLA plastics, I see a bead. It does, yeah, like a purge strip along the edge of the board with prints.
So what's the problem? It's too far away so that it's not like actually hitting the board?
It's not pressing the stuff, because it's like so low a tolerance, because it doesn't need to touch the board, but it needs to be down so it smushes the stuff out a little bit. Gotcha. No, we don't have quite enough. It's still, I know you guys can't see that, but it's still just, it's not pushing the filament into the bed. It's not actually touching. I can see the corners of the print and stuff getting more accurate, but for the most part, it's just not low enough. You can see in the corner there that it's not actually like kind of pressing the PLA down onto the bed. But we're close. We're fairly close. I think if I do what about a 2mm adjustment in the Pinda and rerun all this, I think we'll be good. But I think for now, since it is a fairly lengthy process, do you guys think I can actually do that if I can just adjust the probe and go again? Because I'll do that. I can't see in there. Well, for F's sake. So what do you think I should do? Do you think I should adjust the probe or use the move axis? Because I think ultimately the probe does need moved anyway. Like I said, when I moved it earlier, I think I went too far. Because if I forget who said that, but if when the hot end is against the bed, the probe should be about 3mm up. It's definitely like a full a 1.5 to 2mm too low. Let me eyeball this quick. I think it could actually go a little bit more. I think that looks much better. So I'll do this print again, and I would assume I'll take the Z. Well, you're probably right, Joseph. I should, but I think if I undo that live Z axis adjust, I can keep it from hitting the bed or anything crazy. I think you're probably right, Francis. We'll see what happens. If I have to cancel it here quick. We'll see what happens. Sorry, I know this is kind of boring. Just feel like we've come so far. It was freaking stink bug.
Yeah, they're trying to get inside, man. Fuckers.
We're leaving little dabs of PLA on the heat plate, so I think we are closer. I think we were touching a little bit on that purge strip. I think I did damage my my sheet a little bit right in the purge area, but hopefully that's not the end of the world. I think overall that looks pretty good now, though. Other than damaging our machine a little bit like an idiot, like I think was predictable. But I don't know if you guys can see the print on there. That doesn't look bad. It looks like it looks like it did drag across the sheet a little bit. It didn't actually mar it, but you can see where it pressed the adhesive side against the bed a little tighter than it already was. But I think we did an acceptable amount of damage. Because you see back there, it was way too close. But as we get out here, I think that was about right. Maybe I did back it off too far. That's not adhering very well. Let's do it one more time. Do it one more again. Yeah, because if you can see that, it did mar this a little bit. Where it kind of drug the hot end a little tiny bit. Which again, luckily that's in the calibration area. It didn't do it anywhere in the sheet. So we'll do this again, and we'll probably need to bring it down, I don't know, not too much. Yeah, very cool. I think we're getting there. You can see that was at first. It was just smashing it against the bed.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it was like
Not
not quite
quite.
pushing it.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of hard to see. I mean for me too, not just you guys. It's kind of hard to see like how much exactly I need to be pushing. It looks like, I know you can't see this, but when it first started, it was obviously way too close. And then I think at the end I had panicked a little too much and it was a little too far away. So I think after the adjustment of the PINDA sensor, I'm going to be right around where you guys said. I'm probably going to be at like 0.2 to 0.4 millimeters.
You just streaming on YouTube?
Yeah. I think we're fairly close there at that setting. You never had any consoles? Holy crap, I don't envy you. No offense, but console gaming was always a huge part of my life. Now, does this seem about right? Like, that seems like that's adhered to the bed fairly well. But it's still, like you can see at the back there where we started, it didn't adhere very well, and then it's a little better here, a little better there, and then pretty good there. So it seems like our setting is about what it should be. Okay, I'm gonna put some alcohol on here. Asian parents, the Nintendo came from Asia, man. You should have been like, it's cultural. It's part of my culture. The Nintendo was made in Japan.
You obviously had a horrible childhood, sir.
No, I would assume at some point, because I'm going to do... yeah, try the Batman. Okay, we're going to do the Batman. Is that a very long print, Joseph? Because my friend here, who has refused to step on camera thus far, already claimed it. He's like, I don't even know what it is, but it's Batman, so I'm taking it. Let's do the... Let me see if I can find it on the menu. Okay, we have the Buddy, a beer opener, Batman.
There's Batman.
I have no idea what this is.
A beer opener? That's interesting, too. That's definitely something to give away on the podcast.
Bed heating. We have Batman something. No, but part of the thing one of the things I'm going to do in this channel is I do mods. Like, I sell, it's one of the main things I do is I sell NESs primarily on eBay. So at some point, after I do a couple videos, I'll probably give one away. Like it'll probably be like when I hit one of my first mile marks, like I don't know, like maybe 100 subscribers, something like that. Maybe I'll give one away. Because when it's all said and done, like if I give one away that's not super, super nice, like one that I would want to sell, it might cost me $40 maybe if I just give one away. My cost for everything, including shipping and stuff. So maybe I'll do that at, I don't know, one of those kind of bullshit YouTube mile mark kind of things. So I'll probably hook somebody up with an NES. That would make me happy. I don't know. Part of the reason I do that stuff is because I love the NES. Luckily, you'll get to see right away what the outline is, because it'll do a skirt and then... Here, I'll do that so when I'm hunched over here, you guys aren't just staring at the back of my head. Looks like a Batman symbol.
Yeah.
PC said the weird noises it makes when it's doing both axes at the same time.
Sounds like R2D2.
Check it out, man. It's Batman.
It's neat, man.
Yeah, that makes a lot of weird
It
noises.
sounds like R2D2.
No, that's pretty sweet. We got Batman coming. I don't know what's a good angle here. But I mean, it looks like it's printing okay. It looks like our first layers are adhering reasonably well. I can't really see what it's doing underneath the print head right now, but... Check it out, man. It looks like it's printing nicely. Okay, I will do that, Francis.
So is that the completion of it right there? 5%?
No, I think that's... I don't know.
Oh, it says SD. Maybe your SD card's 5% full.
A little piece on there. If you saw me picking at that, there was a little bit of piece of excess laying on the print thing. But you see, it's like doing the first layer. Okay, looks cute. I think Francis said it's approximately a 20-minute print, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's cool.
But no, that looks. I know you guys can't really see. I'll try to move the camera here. That looks like a really clean print so far. Even if there's like room for more calibration here, I'm like really happy with that. That looks legit. And I gotta say, I don't know what their layer height and speed settings are, but this really isn't obnoxiously loud at this point.
No, right now it's fine. As far as the loudness.
Sweet. apologize if I'm giving anybody motion sickness. I was wondering if it was going to be a Batarang kind of thing.
Looks almost like it.
He's on camera. He made it on camera. I don't think he even realized.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, I don't know how thick this is. If anybody's printed this out. Yeah, it says on the SD thing, it says it's already 10% done, so it's not too bad. Hopefully the second layers lay okay. I guess we're all going to find out together.
Looks like it, huh? So it's not really going over that outline, huh?
That outer outline?
Yeah.
That's just, it does like a
That area.
purge.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It kind of outlines the print zone. See, it'll just be that inner shape that you see.
That's cool, man.
The future plans for this channel, well, I'm going to document a lot of the 3D printing projects because one of the next steps is kind of adjusting to the CAD software and all that stuff. Let me move over here. Like, I've used CAD software before. Like, I've done some 3D and 2D design for, like, industrial type companies. So I'm gonna probably do a couple videos on like adjusting to that stuff. Like I said, I'm gonna do videos modding consoles. I do quite a bit of that kind of stuff. But and lockpicking. I do lockpicking. It's a hobby I've had for about a year now. Yeah, thanks, Chris, man. Thanks for hanging out. Like I said, it's a huge relief having people to kind of bounce your problems off of that have a little more experience than I do, because I'm a complete noob when it comes to this stuff. So I genuinely do appreciate you guys stopping by and helping me out. But no, I'm gonna be doing videos regularly. Yeah, I sell consoles. I actually run an eBay store, and I haven't been selling at the volume that I used to, because I used to just like buy. I used to basically buy collections. I clean and refurb everything. Like, I refurbish the original 72-pin connectors and all that crap. And just sell, like, bundles for people who want them for gifts or just kind of want a really fast collection all at once. But, no, I've been anxious. Like, I had always been kind of a Nintendo fanboy, and I just recently got into Segas and Ataris, and I've been doing, like, different video mods for those, some like audio upgrade mods, so I'm going to be doing those. A lot of soldering and board work and stuff like that. But my friend and I that was just on camera, we also have it's the channel that we got our feet wet with, and we just kind of did a 1-hour weekly podcast about random stuff like TV, gaming, movies, stuff like that. But I'll eventually link that on my channel when I get a chance to sit down and actually upgrade the front page and stuff. But yeah, what else? I don't know. I do all kinds of stuff. I'm going to be doing 3D printing stuff and everything related. I'm going to be buying my own filaments and doing reviews as I like go through the process of learning how to use them. I'll probably be getting some things like the maker boxes and doing those kind of reviews every month. Long term, I'd like to get a couple more printers of different types, like the $170 one that they sell from Hobby King. So I'll be touching on some of that stuff. Console gaming, I don't have the console down here, but I'll grab the box. I got one of these beauties right here. This is a brand new kind of clone of the NES. It's by a company called Retro USB. It's called the AVS. And this is actually like, this is not an emulator. This uses all chips. This is actual hardware that you can run NES games off of, and it natively puts out HDMI at 720p. So I can finally like record NES gameplay at a really good quality. So a quick for instance, one of the videos I want to do is going through Mario 1, Super Mario 1, and doing a video on all of the tricks and stuff that you can do in that game, because there's a lot of bugs and stuff that you can take advantage of, and I want to do all that stuff. My friend and I had talked about sitting down and beating Contra. We're going to do that on the other channel, though. We're going to sit down one of these days and actually beat Contra together, because I had never done it until I got that, and as an adult, I actually got to sit and play it, because I never realized how short that game was. But, I want to do that stuff. I also do... Let me grab some quick while we're talking. In addition to all the kind of normal types of tabletop wargaming, I also do used to do a lot of RPGs and stuff. So, like, I don't know how well the black shows up on camera, but I make RPG terrain for like wargaming. Like, these are wall sections. Again, I don't know how well the camera picks up that chalk white. But just all kinds of stuff. Like, these are pillars. Big old floor sections with 1-inch tiles for doing RPGs and stuff. But I'd ultimately like to do videos on all that stuff, because this has all been part of my life for a long time. Because I also, in addition to selling Nintendo stuff on eBay, I sell Warhammer figures. I do the same thing. I buy collections, clean everything up, and then piece stuff out for people. That's actually what's in all these bins over here that you can't see anymore. Like, these are all just, like, full of gaming minis and stuff. Like, here's a guy that I've been painting for, like, 6 months when I get the time. I don't think it's going to focus on him, but, like a big old bone giant from Warhammer. Crap like that. Why, are you into gaming, Joseph? Like, I'm into basically all forms of gaming. You can tell I get, like, giddy when I start talking about it. I know it's making my friend...
Oh, no, you're good.
Kind of makes fun of me, to a certain extent.
It's all good.
He says he doesn't. His eyes are secretly rolling. But, no, just that kind of stuff. That's cool. I actually just... Depending on how much I like the game, I'll probably do some videos on that. But I just started playing War Machine because they have one of the local journeyman tournaments nearby. Damn, that thing is loud. At certain steps. But yeah, look at that. That's like... It's blowing my mind right now. Like, I had heard nothing but nice things about these printers. I don't know how well that's focusing on stream, but that is a really crisp print. Like, all the infill lines are really clean. The perimeter lines are really clean. And I think overall it's making really good time on that print. Like, that's not a tiny print, but at the same time, that's chugging right along. But one other thing that I will likely do on stream, or on the channel, is we started doing a podcast about a year ago, and part of doing that was overcoming a lot of the technological hurdles for actually getting everything set up. It's just like, that's why I have a mixing board now and a bunch of mics and booms and all that crap. But I know some videos about that stuff would probably help people out that are trying to do that stuff themselves. Because I know things like YouTube were pretty indispensable for me when I was learning all this stuff. Don't get it, it's crap. Hey, the dude on Maker's Muse liked it, and he's probably more critical about things than I am. Granted, you can only print something the size of a salt shaker, but they Hobby King sells like 177, or I think you said $179 printer that comes pre-assembled, but it's really small. And I've seen a lot of good reviews and a few mixed reviews on it. And it's one of those things that, like, $170, even if it's utter garbage, which, like you're saying, it might be utter garbage after I get used to this thing. I'm pretty pumped, man. And I think one of the things I like most is, I think I'm already, like, I'm going to go pick my daughter up. I'm just going to throw a print on this and let it go. I'll probably print another one of these because it's pretty cool. Beyond something like the power going out, I'm not really concerned that prints are just going to fail for weird reasons like you see other people dealing with other machines. That's sweet. My wife has been really, really skeptical. Oh, I should do the tree frog. That is one of people's firsts. There's a little, like, tree frog that's, I don't know how big it is by default. Maybe I'll set that to print. But no, I don't know. I'm going to have to sit... One of these evenings, I'm going to sit down and figure out approximately how much filament a piece like this uses and try to figure out, like, how much it would cost. Ignoring the cost of the machine and time and stuff, but, like, what the filament cost is on something like that, because I've only done it once. I was going to say we have. There was basically a Comic-Con in our town. It was really small, but we actually, my friend and I both, we had separate spaces, but we both got vendor space. And crap like this, like, that would make a really cool $1 or $2 item, because I would imagine if I'd take something like this in the software and arrange them on the plate, you could probably print 6 or 8 of them at a time. But that would be just like a cool throwaway novelty thing for people to have. I think we could have fun throwing these at each other and pretending we're Batman. I think you could lose an eye with the PLA. Oh, there is a counter? Yeah, so I'll just do some rough estimates on, like, the overall length used by, you know, how much is on a roll and how much a roll costs. I would imagine it's not very much. I could be wrong, but if I'm recalling correctly, I think rolls like this were $20 or $30, I forget. I can't remember. And you could print a hell of a lot of Batman things off of that roll of filament. Sweet. I'm pretty excited. I need it to hurry up. I want to play with it. But no, I can see this being addictive. I can see this as an addictive hobby. Cause I'm gonna try to make money with it. Like, I'm going to do my own files in CAD and do, like, some mini NESs and N64s and stuff, and put RetroPies in them. Since that's kind of, like, in my wheelhouse of things I already know how to do. It'd be nice to be able to just, like, spit my own cases out and sell them, make them all nice. But yeah, getting used to using a slicer. That's the program, like, you have your 3D file and then you need to take it in the slicer that actually plots every single movement that the head makes. I haven't done any of that yet. Okay, so $10 for 500 grams, and I think, what, these are 1,000 grams, one kilogram. So approximately 20 bucks for that roll. That doesn't seem bad to me at all. There seems to be a lot of stuff you could print on a roll like that, or with a roll like that. But like if I do end up getting some bearings, I'll do a video on that. Because my goal with this little series was to help anybody that's getting one of these kits, because there are a ton of people buying these kits right now. And I could be wrong, but I don't know if anybody actually documented the process from the absolute beginning. Like, I started at unboxing it and then went through to where we are now. And surely it's just like me going through all this today. It's one thing to see somebody tell you what you should do. It's another thing entirely, and more helpful sometimes, to see somebody do things wrong. So if you find yourself there, you know actually like how to do things. Like you guys yelling at me in chat when I turned the machine off before the calibration was finished. Maybe I can save somebody that time. It's just like our axes failing the calibration the first time. Like I read what it wanted me to do, but it's again another thing entirely to see someone identify it, kind of describe what they're doing, and you know actually go through the process. No, and you're absolutely right. I'll print some spare parts. One will be, I'll either print centerpieces for this so it's not just flopping in that giant hole, or work on getting a different filament holder altogether to get that solution. I want to build an enclosure. I'll probably make it out of Lexan or clear PVC, something like that. So I can actually get like the whole area heated if we're doing some ABS prints and stuff like that. But no, hopefully this process will be beneficial to some other people. I've sucked so much knowledge out of YouTube, I feel like I have some obligation to put some back. That's sweet. I don't know, my other friend, I have another friend that was into 3D printing. He never actually like got a machine or anything, but he had been doing a lot of research and stuff a couple years ago. I should not say anything and just mail him something, like mail him one of these. But what are we looking like for time here? Oh, it looks like we're gonna be perfect. Yeah, Francis, I'll check that out. I've been pressed for time between streaming and like basically the moment this is done, I'm gonna throw another print on, and I have to go pick my daughter up again at around 4:40. Yeah, I'll leave these. Joseph, I'll leave this chat log up so I can write some of that stuff down here before I close it. Because like that, we've been talking about starting a Reddit for a while now. I've been putting it off. Do some of that, get some feedback, all that jazz. What percentage are we?
86.
86, it's getting there. I think I will print the tree frog next. I'll throw that on, let it go, because my daughter will like playing with that. I'll sand it up for her so it's all smooth. Oh, and another thing I'm absolutely going to be printing on here, there's a site that sells really high quality, complete, ready-to-print 3D models for gaming terrain. And I'd like to document the whole process of that, like actually from literally buying the files on the site to pulling them in, putting them on, printing them, finishing them, and painting them so they're ready for tabletop use. To me, that seems like something cool. It's something I would watch. But stuff like that. I'm going to keep myself busy here. But like probably tomorrow I won't have any time to stream, so I'm going to be cleaning some NESs and controllers and stuff, and I'd like to do some really short. Like we're talking 2 or 3 minute just instructional videos on how to clean a console without going overboard and wasting time, but at the same time like making sure you actually clean everything and refurbish everything that needs cleaned so it's reliable. Because obviously there's already some videos on that kind of stuff, but I don't know who wants to... Like, it probably only takes me 15 minutes to clean an NES, so I don't know who wants to sit and watch a half-hour video on how to do it. Seems unnecessary. All the, yeah, I'll have to lube the rod. Because one of the concerns I have... That's what she said. I do have a moist basement. Moist. Everybody's favorite word.
Should never say that word.
So, I guess for now I'm just going to put the desiccant in a freezer bag with my PLA once I'm done with it. But like I said, I'd like to make an enclosure and actually have the PLA and everything in there so I can just have some desiccant in the enclosure itself and try to keep it all, you know, at a really low moisture content for some of those longer prints. That's pretty sweet. I don't know how strong this will be. It looks like we could have done with some more infill. Like you can change how dense those inner pieces are. But no, that's sweet. Everything, like the machine is getting warm, but nothing's alarming. Everything's just kind of toasty. The power supply obviously is going to heat up. But no, I'll probably end up making a camera mount. Like there's a ton of those on Thingiverse. A little camera mount for doing some time lapses. I'm not going to stream the whole damn thing. But like a process like this, a 30-second time lapse would be cool. Like to just see the whole thing in maybe even less than that, maybe 15 or 20 seconds. Because after about that much time, even I'm... Like the second one, I'm sitting here watching this one because it's all cool for the first time, but I think even the second one, I'm not going to have nearly as much interest in watching it. Yeah, I have to fight my my natural inclination as a long-term PC nerd because my go-to is to pirate everything. And I need to, like, some things like this that I actually do appreciate the companies and it's not just like a guilty pleasure kind of thing. Like, I'll probably buy some of the software for once in my life. Don't pirate software, that's bad. I'm not condoning anyone pirate software. Even though almost this entire experience, minus OBS, has been brought to you by pirated software. I'm just kidding. That's not true. But yeah, that's totally true. No, but it's just a bad habit from back in the day. Plus, I'm poor. I don't know if that's anything anybody cares about, but yeah, I'm not a wealthy man. This, like I said, my wife is so skeptical about the whole 3D printing thing. I actually didn't tell her that I bought this machine, so she just kind of found out when I was in day 2 of assembly. I kind of let her know, oh, hey, I bought some stuff. But yeah, there we go. That looks really nice, I gotta say.
It's finished.
Yeah, I've got to say, that looks really nice. That is a really clean print. And I'm just like, this moment I'm having right here, I'm so glad I bought this exact machine. Because I'm sure you guys have all watched videos of guys and their 3D printing experiences online. Almost everybody that buys a non-Prusa machine has just days, if not weeks, of fiddling. Like whether it's leveling your bed, which we just sat here. It was irritating to like watch it do its thing for 10 minutes, but that's a hell of a lot better than actually screwing with it for hours. But yeah, you said to let the bed cool down. So we'll give it a minute here. And we're like perfect on time. So if I leave in about 5 minutes here, that's perfect to go get my daughter. But no, that's sweet. It's funny you get the first print. I guess I technically got the first print. Our little abstract art piece here. I'll have to mount this. This is the first filament to come out of the machine. I'll set this up here. Boom. Done. It's like when you go into business and they have their first dollar bill hanging on the wall. That's my first. That popped my cherry, that piece of filament right there.
I don't think you could do that anymore.
What's that?
People, like, how are you going to post their credit card as your first?
Yeah, it's true. I guess that's kind of dead.
Yeah.
Try not to damage it. Yeah, some of that stuff has been on my radar. Because I've seen some guys, which is funny, I already did damage my PEI sheet. A little bit. We don't have to tell anybody about that. Well, I guess everybody's going to know about that. At least like that, people will know to actually redo the calibration. That was unnecessarily risky. I shouldn't have done that. Because if that would have been even half a millimeter down farther, I could have damaged something. That was not a smart thing to do, in hindsight. In hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. That was one of those YOLO moments.
Yeah, no shit.
I can't quite get it. Seems like we're relatively cool. That came off easy.
That's cool.
Sweet. No, I don't know if you can see this. The back layer, it's not perfect because there was a little bit of a tiny little bit of filament string from the other bit that we had done. So it has a few little marks, but the face, the part that it printed last, that's like perfect. Yeah, that is really good. Like if I would sand that and paint it or something, man, that's sweet. Cool.
Get yourself a picture of it.
Well, there you go.
Get a picture.
What do you mean?
Just take a picture of it.
Oh, yeah, I got to get a picture. Let me put it back on the base there like you don't even know I pulled it off. Get my fancy camera. Take a picture of this guy. I gotta move that camera out of the way. All right. Completion. We got a picture. The screen went off. But all right, guys. No, it's actually... Yeah, my friend here claimed it. As soon as the word Batman was said, he claimed it.
Yeah, sorry for your luck, guys.
He's robbing a toy from the hands of my daughter. But yeah, there it is. That's the first print. That's the first actual print off this machine. That's pretty sweet. Autofocus isn't on that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just on max, like the lowest level focus.
You can barely see that, though. Like, I see what you're saying.
No, it's trivial, but yeah. It was me. There was a little streak of PLA across the bed.
Yeah, it's hard
but
to see,
no,
like...
that's sweet. That's a really clean print. But very cool. Couldn't be happier right now.
No, it's good.
Man, that's I'm
impressed.
That's the end of about 15 hours of, I wouldn't say frustration, but stress for sure. So, yeah, thanks everybody. I'm going to wrap it up now. I got to go pick my daughter up, but I guess this evening she's going to have a tree frog to play with. I'll go ahead and start that now, I guess. get her on here. 2 beer openers. It's funny there isn't just a beer opener, there's 2 of them. A Triceratops.
Tree frog.
There we go.
It's pretty sturdy too.
Oh. Oh no. Oh, I touched the bed. I shouldn't have done that. I have to wipe that off again real quick. I'm not used to like the procedures and stuff.
Yeah, a little bit of gunk.
A little bit of schmutz.
Yeah.
No, but all right, guys, we'll leave it at that. Thank you for hanging out for a little while and being helpful. But yeah, you could seriously cut somebody with that. People aren't joking when they say that PLA gets some sharp edges on it.
It does. It's pretty sturdy too, for the size of it.
I'm afraid to like flex it too much, but
Well, yeah, I mean it's pretty.
that
cool.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. That is very cool. Couldn't be happier. I'm glad to be part of the Prusa Club. So thanks everybody. I'm gonna drop the stream now. Yeah, I'll just take it down. I was gonna bring it back up for the frog, but again, I don't know how interesting that is to anybody. So there you go. You got a hot mic now.
Everybody go to youtube.com/rogueagenda.
That's our podcast. If you're at all entertained by me or my friend here, you could check out the podcast. We're on YouTube too, but we talk about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure that the next episode will have
You can
some
see
of these things to show off, and
you can
talk about it.
Yeah, if you at all think this is good production value, you can go to our humble beginnings and see our old 720p webcam hot mess of a first episode. But yeah, thanks everybody. We're gonna let this run for a while. Make a cool little present for my daughter, and I'll see you around. I guess if anyone has subscribed, I'll be doing videos weekly, several videos a week, hopefully. So yeah. Keep an eye out. I'll probably do some streams here in the future, too. Since I'm still, like, I don't know, a fledgling printer here. So, thanks again, and we'll see everybody... Not tomorrow, Joseph. I have my daughter all day. I mean, I might pop one for a little bit, but it won't be anything significant. But, yeah, keep an eye out. Luckily, if you're subscribed, it'll give you alerts if I jump on, so... I don't have a schedule at this point. I might in the future, but we'll deal with that when we get there. But, again, I can't say it enough, but thanks everybody who stopped by, and we'll see you later.
Good.